Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. Today we're showcasing one of my favorite Pokemon to use in the Go Battle League, Galarian Shadow Weezing. I happen to have a shiny Galarian Shadow Weezing, which is pretty cool, pretty unique. It's cool when you have a shiny Shadow Pokemon that's actually viable and you can use in the Go Battle League to great effect. And we went on a really nice run with this team of Shadow G Weezy, as I like to call it, Feraligatr, and Shadow Kanto Marowak. So here we go. In this first game, we have the Brutal Swing coverage because I feel like there are more ghosts than ever right now, and you really want it against something like a Dusclops. So I'm going to go for another Brutal Swing here. Basically two shots to Dusclops with how much damage this does, and then we go for a catch onto Gator. Is this going to be a positive thing for us? Let's see. Well, in comes a Steelix, regular Steelix, so at least they're going to be forced to throw energy here. I decided to let this go because I know I can get off a Hydro Cannon before going down easily, and then this will set up a really nice farm down for Marowak. But let's see what happens here. We get Thunderfang down by the Steelix. In comes Marowak. They are going to get off a Parting Psychic Fangs, but that's totally okay. Not going to do too much damage to us. And what's going to be the third Pokemon? Oh, it's going to be Annihilate. This is looking decent for us because our Weezing has play here as well. The Bone Club's going to chunk. I combo play and throw the Brutal Swing, and they catch it, but this is totally fine because this gets rid of the Dusclops, and now there's nothing the Annihilate can really do, giving us the victory here for game number 1. Let's see, our Elo in that like 3,000 range. Might have a little bit of queue times here, so we'll try to skip through them. And here we go. Weezing into Gligar. Gligar running Fury Cutter here, so we're going to double resist the bug damage, but we do have to respect the potential Dig. Dig would do some pretty massive, super effective damage to Weezing. So going to put up a shield, and they come in with a Lapras. I'm going to throw a Sludge to chip away at this thing, and I decide to throw a second Sludge as well. And if they let this go, I feel like Gator might get just a nasty farm down. So I come in with Gator here. We're going for the huge farm down. And look at this. They don't even get off an attack. I think they must have been committing to Skull Bash, and they didn't quite reach it. And bye-bye. Top left, they're out of here. They knew that Gator's energy was going to be too much for them to handle in that situation. And we skip forward to game number 3, Greninja. Here we go. Greninja has been a core breaker to so many of my teams lately, so it's nice to lead something that does well against it. And we like this situation. Gonna shield the Hydro Cannon. They dip into a Scizor, and yikes. This caught me off guard, because down a shield, it's not like either of our back Pokemon really want to see this thing, so I kind of panicked through a Brutal Swing there. And this is looking kind of scary. I shield, they bait me with Night Slash. I'm going to throw the Bone Club to get a shield back. And at least what I'm hoping is if he knocks me out here, maybe Gator can get the farm down before Scizor would reach another move. So he throws right here, just a Night Slash, which actually allows me to live and might make this a more comfortable Shadow Claw down. He does take back the alignment, and Greninja comes back. And look at this, we actually go for the catch. And I'm trying to catch a Night Slash here, and I'm able to do so onto my Weezing. That's huge. Now we're just going to get rid of this Greninja here. What's going to be in the back? Oh, it's going to be a Clodsire, which is not good for Weezing because we're going to get farmed down here. But remember, we kept a lot of energy on our Feraligatr, and our Feraligatr has not taken much damage. So we actually just go for the Hydro Cannon immediately, and we should be able to withstand an Earthquake from the Clodsire, and they know that, so they are going to top left. G-Weezy forcing surrenders, dude. G-Weezy putting in some work along with Gator, of course. We know how strong Gator is. Next battle. Yikes. Tough lead. Let's see what we do here. Hard pivot into Marowak. Met by Mandibuzz. This is not looking great. But we're going to go for the Rock Slide, of course, to do some chip damage, and they actually shield it, which kind of surprised me because you don't really need to shield that if you're Mandibuzz. You can take 2 Rock Slides But perhaps they want to try to, like, preserve it for later or something. I don't know. Maybe they feel like I'm luring it out, so they want to save it. That could be possible. They're going to get a pretty nasty air slash down here. I come in with Weezy. They hard pivot into Caesar. And I'm going to have to respond, get out of there with my Weezing. I still have both Protect Shields here. Still both Protect Shields, so I don't think this game is over by any means. Go for the Hydro Cannon. They let it go. They still have one Protect Shield. They come back in with Mandy. And I'm really not sure what to do here. They throw Foul Play. I get off a Parting Hydro Cannon. The problem here is I don't think Hydro Cannon's quite going to be enough to knock out. Come back in with Weezing, and unfortunately, it's a Bastiodon. So I think Bastiodon is just going to be too much for us here. If I had preserved the Feraligatr, started shielding it against the Mandibuzz, I think I might have had this one because I probably could have got rid of it eventually and landed a Hydro Cannon, and maybe that would have been enough to allow Weezing to then take down this Basti. But you see the Smackdowns just adding up over time, and we still have both our shields. We're going to spam out so many Brutal Swings. But it just does so little to Basti. He's just too dang bulky. And we can't even two-shot it at this range. He goes for the combo play with Mandy here. I go for like the cheesy play here, getting the denial on Basti. I'm actually able to get it. So they should have snuck a Smackdown through there. I throw one, and then I'm one away from the next one. And despite a tough matchup here, it actually ends up coming down to one fast attack. But Basti does get to the Stone Edge first. Knocks out our Galarian Weezing. And that is a good game. Trainer. Always tough losing to Bastiodon. Next battle. Puffin Power. That's a fun name. Great lead. Weezing catching us a lot of good leads on this day. They swap Marowak, and I counter swap Feraligatr. This is one benefit to the regular Feraligatr as opposed to the Shadow. Rise, why are you running regular versus Shadow? Shadow is great too, but this is one situation where the added bulk is helpful because Marowak's not going to be able to farm us down in the two-shield scenario. What they can do is make our lives a little bit awkward by forcing both shields from me and then probably going for a catch, so I'm aware that's going to happen here. They throw the Bone Club, and I know he's probably going to try and catch my Hydro Cannon here. So I'm looking out for that, and I save the Hydro Cannon, what is going to be much better for me. Just go straight Brutal Swing since we don't have Overheat. And hopefully I can take one Rage Fist and just farm all the way down here, come out with energy. Here we go. Take the Rage Fist. Get the entire Fairy Wind down. And this is huge because now if Marowak comes back, we're going to get to double Brutal Swing. That one Mud Slap's not going to be enough to knock out. Brutal Swing coming through. And we're just going back to back. This is going to knock out Marowak. And now we basically have our own Marowak and a Hydro Cannon on Gator. So Wiggly would win this matchup in the Zero Shield, landing that Icy Wind. But I can simply go for my Bone Club here and then combo play with the Hydro Cannon I have banked. And that is a GG. Shiny Feraligatr. Putting in some work. A double shiny team. You know, who says I don't like to use some flair, some style? Double shiny team. We get a 4-1 set there. Let's go, baby. 4-1 set. Morpeko's the reward. And you see 30, 35 elo. And it's on to the next one. Straight away. Another set for you. Who's it going to be? All right. Rocking the Morpeko onesie. Lots of great onesies in this game. They're running Bullet Seed. You know, I don't know if this is the ideal play to throw on 5 before the debuff, but it's what we decide to do here. I think probably just going after 7 is still ideal, but maybe not. The thing is, I just wasn't 100% sure if a Sludge would knock out there after the debuff, so I decided to overfarm instead and put up a shield. This way I can just make sure I maximize my energy. And I don't think I get too greedy here with an undercharge, do I? Let's see. Undercharge. Oh, it doesn't knock out. So I actually get... I would have got one more fairy win, but they hard pivot to not give me that opportunity. I go for back-to-back sludge here. This is a little bit awkward because they shield, and all of a sudden, this pod is kind of scary. I get off the Hydro Cannon here on charge attack priority, and what at least is good is our Marowak is avoiding this thing, so I'm hopeful our Marowak should have a positive matchup in the back, especially since they had a grass type in the lead as well. You would think Marowak hopefully is going to have play against the back Pokemon. I know a catch here is so obvious, so I don't throw. And I'm expecting them to just come in and use their X-Scissor. But they actually come in with Dedenne. And this is good for us. We get this chip damage, and we can immediately swap. They are not even going to reach a Play Rough on this Dedenne. So I can simply take whatever they were going to throw there and then save the shield for the Aqua Jet that the Golisopod had loaded. And that is a good game, trainer. Oh, now we're doing some PV Poke Sims. I think someone was asking about, like, how to know which IVs to build. Oh, this is from my stream. And I was showing them, like, some examples of when you want maybe different IV spreads for certain matchups. Zimmy Kid here, friend of mine, fellow streamer. Tough lead for us. We're going to safe swap Gator, met by Farfetch'd. And for some reason, I go straight Hydro Cannon here. I don't even build to Ice Beam. I should have at least built to it, right? But for some reason in my head, was thinking this was like super glassy, where they had to respect Hydro Cannon. But then I thought about it. I'm like, no, actually, I think Farfetch is a little bit bulkier than that. So I go for another Hydro Cannon. At least we pull a shield, but we are going to surrender quite a big farm down here. And we come in with Weezing. And because our Weezing doesn't have much play against the Quagsire, I am just committing to a huge farm down here. And I think maybe I end up making a mistake not shielding this one, because at least I would have had double Brutal Swing, so I could have like thrown a Brutal Swing and switched, and maybe that would have been valuable. But we basically sacrifice our entire Pokemon there, and put this all on the back of Marowak. But there is still a full Pokemon in the back, which we do not know what it is. And, you know, by not throwing earlier, I'm also making my own life more difficult here by making the catch more likely, because now he knows I have to throw. And he catches on Moltres. So a nice play by him. Even if we don't fall for the catch, it would have needed 2 Rock Slides to knock this out. And at that point, we had no shields remaining for the Marowak. So pretty much triple hard countered there. Not a whole lot we could have done, unless maybe I like shielded Weezing once, throw, switch. But even then, our Marowak just gets hard punished by it. So I think that was kind of triple RPS. Good game. Here we go. Morpeko. Always kind of scary. Always kind of scary is the little Morpeko. We pull a shield advantage at least with Feraligatr here. And then our opponent surprises me, and they actually bait the Psychic Fangs. I didn't think that was really necessary, but they bait Psychic Fangs. I'm debating whether I want to... you know what? Maybe I should have shielded that, honestly, because I would have probably pulled their second shield and gotten shields down, which would have been a little bit better for me. But I come in with Weezing. You might be wondering why Weezing and not Marowak here. Well, I do lag a turn there, so that's unfortunate. But my Weezing had a tough matchup, right? So I'm thinking saving shields for Marowak is going to be my best bet. I go for the Sludge here. Would Brutal Swing have knocked out? Maybe. It would have been close, but I wasn't confident enough that Brutal Swing would knock out from there. 2 shield Marowak is going to be our potential win condition here. Night Slash gets shielded. In comes Credilli, so I'm thinking, okay, they don't have much fast attack pressure, so this game's not over yet. I'm going to get to 2 Bone Clubs before they get off their first attack. But they still have a shield to hide behind, right? So this is a little bit awkward. They take the Bone Club. They take the Bone Club. And the problem here is, like, if I switch to Weezing to get more farm, he just ends up farming me down in my head and then getting off a Trailblaze. So my only play is to get this off and then outpace the Caesar to an attack. But unfortunately, we're one away in that one fairy wind that we didn't get from earlier because of the denial. Actually, you could say made the difference in the outcome. So a tough one there. We've lost a few games the past couple of days due to a one-turn lag, so that's always pretty frustrating. Happens to me too, guys. Even with the streamer luck, as some say. Here we go. Runerigus. Totally fine here for Weezy with our Brutal Swing. They throw on Charge Attack priority. Brutal Swing going to do some significant damage. I'm debating whether I want to shield or not, because I know they have like Sand Tomb as a bait, but luckily we shield the Rock Tombs. That's a decent shield. Gonna overfarm up to 2. They catch on Credilli. Nice catch. And this is a pretty awkward catch for me, right? Because I don't really have a great counter response. So I'm just kind of forced to stay in here with Weezing. And I think I'm fully just going to stay in because neither of my other 2 Pokemon really want to eat energy from this thing. And I get the Charge Attack priority here, which is great. This is great because they take it, and this makes this Credilli much more manageable for me. Where I'm going to let this go. I want to keep a shield for my back Pokemon. And then we're going to get the Mud Slap down here. Will Runerigus come back? Will something else come in? It's going to be Caesar. We're going to chunk away with our Mud Slap damage, throw the Bone Club here. Little bit awkward. A little bit awkward because they have the ability for that Trailblaze, but they actually throw after 6. So this is not enough. Oh, I shield anyway. Interesting. I guess I figured the Mud Slap pressure was too valuable from my Marowak, so maybe that's what I was going for. That makes sense. And then we're just going to fully Shadow Claw down this Runerigus. Going to throw Hydro Cannon immediately. I think at this point I could have also like gone for fast attack pressure, but this is probably the right play. And then I think we're only 1 off on our Marowak, or are we 2 off? Let's see. Night Slash knocks out. Only 1 off on the Marowak, and they might have still been, they might have needed 3 there, I forget. So I think either way, maybe we would have farmed them down, but a really close end game there. And I think we have 1 more battle. GG's to San Judigo. He's from Spain. Last battle of the video. We're playing nothing. 69-420. Yikes. Tough lead. Let's see if we can overcome it. This is kind of a core breaker. We swap. They counter swap into Shadow Ape. And this is another matchup you're going to see where regular Gator is going to be so much better than Shadow Gator in this scenario. Because we get off the Hydro Cannon. If this was a Shadow Gator, there's no way I reach this next Hydro Cannon and force him to expend energy. So forcing him to expend this energy rather than him farming me all the way down is really nice. Because now he's only going to get off 1 attack against Weezing. And I know my Weezing is kind of dead weight against Stunfisk. Oof, yikes, that did so much damage. So we're just going to take that. Dude, look how much that Ice Punch damage did. And here we go. I think this was similar to the first game, right? Marowak up a shield, and we see Annihilate in the back. We are going to outpace this Annihilate to 2 attacks. I can throw the Bone Club here. They kind of have to shield to do as much damage as possible. And I get off another Bone Club, and hopefully this knocks them out and sets up my Marowak against their Stunfisk. It does knock out. Still have a shield to hide behind as well. I was looking to just throw in bad timing. I didn't really need to shield this personally. I think we do take a Mud Bomb from here, but I was just playing it safe. Throw the Bone Club. We're kind of just disregarding timing at this point. And then I decide to just combo play with the Brutal Swing that I have loaded. And that is a good game. So a really nice run with this G-Weezy Feraligatr Shadow Marowak team. It's always fun, like I said, using a shiny Shadow Pokemon if you have it. And it's capable of doing well. So this was cool. I think it was DJ Breezy, if I'm remembering correctly, in my Twitch chat that suggested this team. So shout out to him. Fun team to run. And we get a couple positive sets. 7-3 run, and we're climbing up the ELO ranks back over that 3,000 mark. Little barboach for the road, going fishing. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all that said, once again, thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.